also poicular terms wherein they are not capable of regulating their body temperature. They are cold-blooded wherein their body temperature tends to change according to the external temperature. The male reptile is separate and the female reptile is separate, and the fertilization is internal. But in the case of amphibians, the fertilization was external. Statocyst is actually the balancing organ that is present in phylum Arthropoda, that is the insect. So it has nothing to do with reptiles. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this session on Class 11 Biology for CBSE. I'm Dr. Divya, Biology Faculty, Vidhyaashram, School of Excellence, Mysuru. So in this session, let us learn about class Reptilia under subphylum Vertebrata of Chapter 4 Animal Kingdom. So let's learn the characteristics of class Reptilia and then move into learning some of the MCQs that are important for the exam. So class Reptilia, it is a Latin word wherein rapier or reptum means to creep or crawl. So these organisms, they are slow movers wherein they tend to creep and crawl using their forelimbs and their hind limbs. And they are mostly terrestrial animals wherein they live most of the time on land. Of course, they move into the water, that is the crocodiles and all that. But majority of the time they live on land itself. And reptiles are also poicular terms wherein they are not capable of regulating their body temperature. They are cold-blooded wherein their body temperature tends to change according to the external temperature. And the body is very dry because it is covered by dry and cornified skin. So after eating a corn, that is, once we eat the kernel, the remaining part that is there which we do not consume, like how that looks, no, exactly their skin looks like that. That is like a corn without the kernels. So that is why it is called as cornified skin. And their epidermis, that is, their skin is covered by scales which are called as scutes. And they do not have external ear openings, but what do they have, or what aids in hearing? Just like amphibians, how amphibians have an opening that looks like a ear or that acts like a ear, they also, that is, which is called as tympanum. These organisms, that is reptiles, also have tympanum that represents the ear. And like amphibians only, they also have limbs and they are present in two pairs. And the heart is usually three-chambered, wherein they have two auricles and one ventricle, just like amphibians. And this is very important. You have to remember, it is only in crocodiles that you find four-chambered heart wherein they have two auricles and two ventricles. And snakes and lizards, usually they shed their scales, and which is called as skin cast, and they develop new skin or develop new scales. So that is one of the characteristic feature of reptiles which is found only in lizards and snakes, not other reptiles. So these are some of the characteristics. Now if you want to differentiate between reptilia and amphibians, to understand why they have been placed separately, you have to see the previous session wherein I have talked about amphibians. So next, talking about the reproduction, here the sexes are separate wherein the male reptile is separate and the female reptile is separate, and the fertilization is internal. But in the case of amphibians, the fertilization was external. Here it is internal, wherein the sperm enters into the body of the female, it will fertilize the egg, and then the female lays the egg will hatch, and out of the hatchlings the young ones come out. So therefore fertilization is internal, and they are oviparous wherein they lay eggs, and the development here is direct without any larval stage or tadpole stage in between. Directly the young ones, once they come out of the egg, they'll directly start to look like the adult itself. So therefore development is direct. Next, talking about some of the examples, there is chelone, which is turtle. So chelone, then tortoise. So turtles have flap, their forelimbs look like a flap, so that can help them to swim through the ocean currents. But tortoise, they also have that, but there is a difference between the tortoise and the turtle. So chelone, then we have testudo, which is tortoise, then the garden, that is the tree lizard, chameleon, which is the tree lizard, And chameleon, they are capable of camouflaging. That is, according to their background, they can change their skin color. Then we have the calotes, which is the garden lizard. So this is calotes, garden lizard. Then there is hemidactylus. So hemidactylus, which is the wall lizard, that is commonly found in the walls of houses, right? So it is a wall lizard. So these are some of the examples of reptiles. And some more, crocodilus, that is crocodile. Have crocodile. Then there is alligator, and some of the poisonous snakes also come under reptiles, though they do not have feet, that is limbs to crawl, but still most of the characteristics meet with that of the other reptiles. So that is why they have placed the snakes also under reptiles only. So Naja, which is the cobra. So this is Naja, commonly called as cobra. Bangaras, which is commonly called as crate. So those snakes usually have rings around their body. So this is Bangaras, that is crate. Then viper. Viper is one of the most poisonous snakes. So viper. So these are some of the examples under the class Reptilia. So talking about the MCQs. So first MCQs, the body of reptiles are covered by dash. Placoid scales. No, placoid scales are usually found in chondric thighs. Scutes. Yes, scutes is the right answer because their dry cornified skin is covered by scales which are called as scutes. Moist skin. No, it is not moist skin because moist skins are found in amphibians and they help in respiration in the case of amphibians. Chitinous exoskeleton. Chitinous exoskeleton is usually found in arthropods, that is in insects. So the right answer here is scutes. Next, dash reptile have 4-chambered heart. We all know that reptiles have 3-chambered heart wherein they have 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. But there is one particular reptile which has 4-chambered heart. Is it snakes? No. Lizards? No. It is crocodile. So crocodile is the only reptile that has a 4-chambered heart. Rest of these, that is snakes, lizards and tortoise, turtles, all of them have a 3-chambered heart. Next, dash shed their scales. Is it snakes, lizards, crocodiles? Both A and B. Snakes shed their scales or skin cast. Even lizards shed their scale or skin cast. Crocodiles do not shed their scales. Therefore, both A and B, option D is the right answer here because both snakes and lizards shed their scale, which is nothing but called as skin cast. Next, dash is a poisonous snake. Naja, kelone, calotes, testudo. So testudo is tortoise. Calotes. So calotes is garden lizard. Garden lizard. Kelone is turtle. All the 3 are not poisonous. So poisonous snake is Naja. So Naja, it is nothing but cobra, or they can give crate, they can give the option as Bangaras, option as crate, option as viper. That time you have to select those. Now here I have put the answer as Naja, which is nothing but cobra. So cobra is a poisonous snake. Option A is the right answer here. So reptiles refer to dash mode of locomotion. So we had seen in the first slide of the session, right, wherein reptiles is a Latin word that is derived from reptum or rapier. So what does it mean? Running? No, it's not running. Flying? No, because reptiles are not capable of flying. Swimming? They are capable of swimming, but that's not the right answer here. So reptile means crawling or creeping. Crawling or creeping. So therefore option D is the right answer here. So next one, which is a characteristic of reptiles? Viviparous. No, reptiles are oviparous. They are not viviparous. Viviparous means those which give birth to young ones. Reptiles, they lay eggs. They are oviparous. Homeothermous. No. Why? Because reptiles are cold-blooded. Homeothermous means it is warm-blooded. Or reptiles are poikilothermous or cold-blooded. So therefore option B is not wrong here. Next, 2-chambered heart. No, reptiles have a 3-chambered heart, wherein crocodiles have a 4-chambered heart. So therefore, option C is wrong because 2-chambered heart is not found in reptiles. It is found in amphibians. 2-chambered heart is not found in reptiles. Next, it has dry cornified skin. Yes, reptiles, their skin is dry and cornified. So therefore, option D is the right answer here. Which is not a characteristic feature of reptiles? Now you have to be careful. What did I ask? Not a characteristic feature. 2 pairs of limbs. Yes, they do have 2 pairs of limbs. So that is why this is the wrong option. Presence of tympanum. They have tympanum. So this is the wrong option. Breathing through skin. They do not breathe through skin. So therefore, this is the right answer. Development is direct. This is wrong because their development is direct. Now, which is not a characteristic in them? Breathing through skin is not a characteristic. Option C is the right answer here. Hemidactylus is commonly called tree lizard, wall lizard, garden lizard, chameleon. So, tree lizard is chameleon. Garden lizard is calotes. Again, chameleon, it is nothing but tree lizard only. Wall lizard is called as Hemidactylus. So, therefore, the right answer here is wall lizard. Or they can ask, chameleon is commonly called as, or tree lizard is called as, or garden lizard is called as, or calotes is commonly called as. Like that also question can be framed. Here, Hemidactylus is commonly called as wall lizard. Therefore, option B is the right answer here. Okay, next question. The epidermal scales of reptiles are called statocyst. Statocyst is actually the balancing organ that is present in phylum Arthropoda, that is the insect. So, it has nothing to do with reptiles. So, option A is not correct. Spines also it's not correct. Scutes is the right answer because scutes, the dry cornified skin of reptiles are covered by scutes, right? So, scutes is the right answer. Skin cast, no. Skin cast is nothing but the process wherein the snakes and the lizards remove or they remove their skin from the body or they remove their scales from the body. So that is called as skin cast. So this is also not the right answer. Option C is the right answer. That is the epidermal scales of reptiles are called scutes. That is the epidermal scales of reptiles are called scutes. So this was about the session wherein we learnt about the characteristics of phylum Reptilia and then moved on to learning some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So I hope you understood this session well. We shall meet again in the coming session wherein we'll study one more class under subphylum Vertebrata and learn some of the MCQs under it. So see you in the next session. Thank you.